obviously it was such a difficult start to the season for you personally, and you've come through out the other end and you're hitting form. How are you feeling about how it's all gone?
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I mean, every day I wake up and I get to touch the pitch again. It's unreal. Yeah, obviously the start of the season, yeah, it was a bit of an upset having that injury. But I feel like, yeah, I've, pretty much bounced back and done everything on my end to try and, try and get back into the squad. And now that I'm playing again, yeah, it's unreal feeling.
And the team's obviously doing so well as well. How are you feeling like heading into this pointing end? Top two spots on the line, and the premiership is still there mathematically. It must be a pretty exciting time to be back in and playing some good football.
Yeah, I mean, the team I think is just, yeah, we're in pretty decent spot. I think we can just keep focusing on like just our end. Um, we've just been, on the pitch training as hard as possible to continue our form, and obviously the next few games are, yeah, there's a big few numbers up for grabs, and I think if we just stay consistent and that positive mindset throughout the weeks we've been having, we just keep that in check. I think, yeah, we've got a good mindset and a good moral in our squad, and yeah, I think if we just keep pushing hard and working hard, I think the results will show.
Like, how were you able to, for lack of a better word, hit the ground running so well? You had a couple of weeks in the VPL one, then you're straight back into the starting 11, get a goal in your return, and then you haven't left the 11. You've been going great guns. How'd you manage it?
Yeah, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I think coming back from an injury, Vidi's, he obviously wants to see that I'm ready and like he can trust me, and I've just been trying to work as hard as possible and show him obviously like that I'm personally ready, and I think I've done so, and he's obviously seen it, but I'm obviously still think getting back to what I was, and obviously there's still more work to be done. But yeah, I mean he's trusted me and he's given me such a great insight in being in that starting 11, and I've just been listening to whatever he's been saying and trying to put that out onto the pitch, and I think he's been, yeah, really happy with what I've been doing. But yeah, on my end, I think I've just got to try and stay consistent. I think in football, there's so many ups and downs, but I just want to keep, yeah, showing that I'm ready and I'm fit and healthy, that I can keep playing and hopefully keep starting.
And just because you had patellar injury, if I'm correct, Darla, that required
Yes.
surgery pre-season, just walk us through what you actually needed done and just how much work and what you sort of work you had to do to get back to this point.
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, when I was actually in the hospital bed, the surgeon actually said it was, only going to be a little surgery, just a keyhole to put the cartilage that actually tore off behind the kneecap back on. And then an hour before surgery, he actually, yes, said the news to me and my mum, and said that we'll actually have to cut from the top of the knee to the bottom, to actually open up the knee and flip the kneecap, put the cartilage back to where it was, and then put the kneecap back on, and then obviously stitch it up. So I was a bit in shock, and then yeah, I literally woke up and it looked like I had a shark bite on my knee, and I was like, fire out, like now I can only think of the positives and try and get back to touching that pitch again, because at the end of the day, that's all I wanted to do. And now that I'm here, like 6 months ago, I would not think I would be in this position. So I can't complain, and every single day I'm out there with the boys. It's such a blessed feeling.
Ale, I guess the mentioned it before, but the prospect of at least top two, if not the premiership, you get Asian Champions League football next year. So many opportunities to show what you can do. How big a motivator is that for you and the boys?
Oh, for sure. I mean that top two, yeah. I mean, obviously we're just gonna fight until the end, and we're gonna try our hardest to obviously qualify and like for that Champions League, and then obviously do our best for the season. There's still, yeah, we've got this week Adelaide. obviously it's going to be a tough game, but everyone's excited and we're all preparing well this week, and I think we've all got a positive mindset going into it. So yeah, we're ready.
Does this feel to you like a team that can go all the way? You've had some big wins, some big results.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the past two games, the mentality has just been, unstoppable, because we've come from, two goals down, coming back and, either getting the draw or the win. It's just a mindset kind of thing, in football, when you go either a goal or two goals down, it's easy to drop your heads and, everyone just stops fighting. But we've got such, great mentality in this squad, and it all starts from our captain, Aziz. He, I think, just drives us, and we all have that kind of same mindset to just, leave it behind us, forget about it, and just move forward and try our, keep fighting till the rest of the 90 minutes. And yeah, the past two games showed that, and we either got a point or either the draw or the 3 points, and that's kind of our mindset. It's been all season. We've had so many ups and downs through injuries and younger boys playing up into the squad, and everyone's been doing really, really well, and the results have been showing. And yeah, it's not over yet, but we just have to keep going.
Adelaide United coming to town, they've traditionally been City's bogey side. City have always tended to struggle against Adelaide. In your couple of years at the club, what's your experiences with Adelaide? What do you put that down to?
Yeah, I think they're a great squad. They're. I remember, I think my first game with City against them, I think it was one of the probably the biggest losses, the 6-0 loss, I think, away. And it's never easy playing away in Adelaide. Their supporters obviously are great, and the stadium they have there. But obviously we're at home this week, and the mentality is not going to change. We're at home, but we're going to try and fight it to the end, and whatever happens, it's what we can control, and we're going to do our best to try and obviously win the game, but we're going to fight it to the end. So it's going to be a tough one, but I know their mentality is obviously going to be, they're playing away, they're coming against a squad that's, in quite decent form, so we're going to try and, they're obviously going to try and, come at us strong, but yeah, we're just going to come out stronger and try and, obviously win the game.
And just, Ale, one more on you. How much better do you feel like you personally can get? Because you were so highly rated when you came down to City, you sort of showed some moments and then had that injury. You must feel like your ceiling is still a fair way off.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I had this is probably my biggest injury I've had throughout my career so far. Obviously, it's still a long way to go, but every single day I wake up, I feel guilty because I've had such a long time out that every time we have a day off, I want to do something, because I feel like I have so much more to prove and so much more to show, and every single day I'm just going to try and work as hard as possible to try and reach that highest floor and try and get to the best I can, because there's so much more I have to give, and I'm in a spot where I can show again, and I'm going to do everything I can to do it. So yeah, I'm happy.